You probably threw one away this morning, peeled it off, dropped it in the bin, and never thought about it again. But that banana peel sitting in your kitchen trash right now contains more potassium per gram than most commercial fertilizers on the shelf at your garden center. Dried and ground into powder, a single banana peel delivers an NPK ratio of 0.6, 0.4, 11.5. That last number, the 11.5, is potassium. And potassium is the single nutrient most directly connected to flower size, color depth, stem strength, and bloom count in nearly every flowering plant you grow. Roses, tomatoes, peppers, zinnias, every single one. The fertilizer industry sells you potassium in a bag marked up 400%, but your kitchen produces it for free every single morning. And you have been throwing it in the garbage. That cycle ends today. Now, before you run outside and bury a banana peel next to your roses, stop. Because the way the internet tells you to do this is wrong. And if you do it wrong, you will attract rats, grow mold, waste your time, and end up right back at the garden center swiping your card. I am going to show you the method that actually works. The one backed by soil science and confirmed by growers who have been doing this for years. If you have watched this far, stay with me. The fertilizer industry really does not want this information going viral. So here's what potassium actually does inside a flowering plant. Because understanding this changes how you think about every bloom in your garden. Potassium is not a vitamin. It is not food. It is more like an operating system. Inside every plant cell, potassium ions regulate water pressure. They control how wide the stomata open, the tiny pores on the underside of every leaf that let carbon dioxide in for photosynthesis and release oxygen. When potassium levels are right, the stomata open wider, the plant breathes better, photosynthesis runs harder, and more sugar gets produced. That sugar is the raw fuel for everything. Bigger leaves, stronger stems, and critically, more vivid flowers. Here is the detail that most gardening channels skip. Potassium directly influences anthocyanin production. Anthocyanins are the pigments responsible for deep reds, purples, and blues in flower petals. When a plant has adequate potassium, it stores more of these pigments in its cell sap, and the colors in the bloom become richer and more saturated. A potassium-deficient rose does not just produce fewer flowers. It produces paler flowers, smaller flowers, flowers with weaker stems that droop before they fully open. A 2021 review published in Floral Daily examined potassium's effects across dozens of ornamental species, including roses, zinnias, dahlias, chrysanthemums, and gerbera, and confirmed significant positive effects on growth, flowering, and flower quality across the board. Now, here's the nuance that keeps this channel honest. Potassium does not work like a magic switch. You cannot dump extra potassium on a healthy, well-fed rose and suddenly triple the bloom count. That is not how plant biology works. What potassium does is remove a bottleneck. If your soil is deficient, and most garden soil that has been planted season after season without amendment is at least partially depleted, then adding potassium allows the plant to do what it was already genetically programmed to do. You are not forcing more flowers. You are removing the constraint that was preventing them. It is like unclogging a pipe. The water was always there. You just let it through. And banana peels, properly processed, are one of the highest natural sources of potassium you will find in any kitchen. But here is where the internet gets people into trouble. And this is the part I need you to hear. If you search banana peel fertilizer for roses, the first 10 results will tell you to chop up a few peels, dig a hole next to your rose bush, drop them in, and cover them with soil. Sounds simple? Sounds natural? Sounds like it should work? It does not. A gardener on a permaculture forum tried exactly this. He buried banana peels in his garden bed. The next spring, when he went to plant seeds, he dug into the soil and found the exact same banana peels, completely intact, barely decomposed after an entire year underground. His verdict was blunt. He said he did not feel like the soil gained any benefit whatsoever. And he is right. Fresh banana peels are roughly 80% water. The nutrients inside them are locked in organic compounds that plant roots cannot absorb directly. Those compounds have to be broken down first by soil microorganisms, and that breakdown process is slow. In cool or dry soil, it can take months. In some conditions, peels will sit underground for over a year doing essentially nothing except attracting fruit flies, fungus gnats, and, in some unfortunate cases, rodents who smell the decomposing sugar and dig up your garden bed looking for a snack. One gardening expert described the result as a mess of black mush sitting next to tender roots, which is exactly the opposite of what your roses need. This is why garden centers keep selling you the bottled stuff. Not because banana peels do not contain potassium, they absolutely do, but because the method that went viral does not work, and when it fails, people conclude that homemade fertilizer is unreliable and go back to buying the commercial product. The failure is not in the ingredient. The failure is in the technique. There are 3 methods that actually deliver banana peel potassium to your plants in a form they can use. I am going to rank them from easiest to most effective. Method 1 is the compost route. This is what every master gardener and agricultural scientist recommends as the gold standard. You throw your banana peels into a compost bin or pile along with your other kitchen scraps, leaves, and yard waste. In a compost environment, the moisture, heat, and microbial activity break the peels down rapidly, sometimes in weeks rather than months. The potassium, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, and trace minerals all get released into the finished compost in forms that plant roots can immediately absorb. You then spread that compost around your roses. This is the most complete method because compost delivers balanced nutrition, not just potassium, and it also improves soil structure, water retention, and microbial life at the same time. Method 2 is the dried powder method. This is the concentrated approach. And honestly, this is the one that excites me the most because you can do it in any kitchen. Take your banana peels and lay them on a baking sheet. Dry them in the sun for a few days or put them in your oven at the lowest setting with the door cracked until they are completely brittle. Dark, crispy, snap in half dry. Then drop them into a blender or coffee grinder and pulse until you have a fine powder. 1 banana peel produces roughly 1 tablespoon of powder. And here is the key. By removing the 80% water content, you have concentrated the potassium 5 times. That tablespoon of powder contains the same 11.5% potassium as a commercial potash product, and it came from your breakfast. Sprinkle 2 tablespoons around the base of each rose bush once a month during the growing season. You'll work it lightly into the top inch of soil. Water it in, done. Method 3 is the fermented banana peel tea. Chop your peels into small pieces and drop them into a jar or bucket of water. Let them sit for 48 hours to a week. The potassium, which is not chemically bound in organic matter the way nitrogen and phosphorus are, leaches into the water relatively quickly. Strain out the solids and use the liquid to water your plants. Fair warning though, the liquid will smell. And the honest truth is that the potassium concentration in banana tea is lower than in the dried powder method because you are diluting it across a large volume of water. It works as a gentle supplement, but it is not a heavy feeder. For roses that are seriously potassium starved, the dried powder or compost methods deliver far more. Now, here's the math that makes the fertilizer industry uncomfortable. A 4-pound bag of commercial potash fertilizer costs between $8 and $15 at a garden center. The average household consumes about 150 bananas per year. That is roughly 150 tablespoons of dried banana peel fertilizer. Enough to feed a dozen rose bushes for an entire growing season, for free, from waste you are already producing. The potash market is a $25 billion global industry. $25 billion selling a mineral that accumulates in every kitchen in every country on Earth for $0 in the form of fruit scraps. No company can patent a banana peel. No brand can charge a subscription for kitchen waste. Yet no sales representative earns a commission when you grind your breakfast scraps in a coffee grinder and sprinkle them on your roses. The method is too simple, too free, and too effective for anyone to build a revenue model around it. So it stays on the margins. It lives in forum threads and grandma's gardening notebooks, while the shelves at the garden center stay stocked with bottled potassium at a 400% markup. Now the honest caveats, because this channel does not do hype without balance. Banana peels are not a complete fertilizer. They are heavily weighted toward potassium with very little nitrogen and almost no phosphorus. If you feed your roses nothing but banana peel powder, you will eventually create a nutrient imbalance. Too much potassium can actually block magnesium absorption, which is why some DIY recipes pair banana peel powder with Epsom salt, which is magnesium sulfate. Your roses still need a balanced feeding program. Think of banana peels as the potassium booster within a broader soil-building strategy, not a replacement for everything else. Also, if you are not buying organic bananas, the peels may carry pesticide residues from conventional farming. For edible crops like tomatoes and peppers, consider using organic peels only, or composting the peels first, since the composting process degrades most synthetic pesticide residues. So let me leave you with this. Tomorrow morning you are going to peel a banana. You are going to stand there holding a wet yellow strip of skin, and your brain is going to do what it always does: trash or counter. And now you know something you did not know 10 minutes ago. Yeah, that peel, dried and ground, contains 11% potassium. More than most boxes on the shelf at Home Depot. Enough to deepen the reds on a climbing rose that has been looking washed out for 2 seasons. Enough to push one more flush of blooms on a knockout rose before October shuts it down. You do not need permission from a garden center employee to feed your own plants. Likewise, you don't need to spend $14 on a bag of potash that came from a mine in Saskatchewan when the same molecule is sitting on your kitchen counter wrapped around breakfast. Try the powder method on one rose bush, just one. Dry the peels, grind them, sprinkle 2 tablespoons, water it in. Give it a month. Then come back to the comment section and tell me what happened. That is all I ask, because the more people who test this and post their results, the harder it becomes for anyone to pretend this does not work. If you found this fascinating, make sure you subscribe for more like this. There's a lot more buried out there waiting to be found.